Hi, now I want to show you a feature that was added on Java 11. As you know, we've been typing our source code into a simple text editor. We save it as your name of your class .java, and then we use the javac or javac, like I say, javac, and the full qualified class name, which includes a package if it's in a package, .java to compile it, and it compiles it as a class, in other words a .class, the name and .class. Then to run it we use the java command with the class name .class. Okay, and you can refer to the first couple of videos if you're unsure about that. But in Java 11, and this is used for testing purposes, you don't have to compile it to test it every time. You can just run the Java command line, so java, and the name of the class, so it will be the name of the name of your class, the text file java dot whatever the name is .java, and it will compile it in memory, so it doesn't save it to permanent disk. The class file is saved in memory, and it runs if there's no compile errors. And I just want to show you, they say, there it is. One major change is that you don't need to compile the Java source file with the javac tool first. You can directly run the file with Java command, and it is implicitly compiles it. And this was a feature what was added under JEP 330. Okay, so let's go and look at that now. As you know, when we use normal JDK and editor, we would write the code, our source code, save it in a file .java, the name of the class .java, and then we would compile it into the name of the file .class with a javac command line, and then we'd use the command line java and the full qualified name of the file. Now in Java 11 they've introduced where you can run your single file, a single Java class, just using Java. In other words, you just save it and you just call Java. Now what happens, it compiles your class in memory, so it doesn't create a physical .class file. So this is just a quick way to test your code, a single class like we're doing here, and run it at the same time. So what I've done here is, as you see, we're still working on this class. I've commented out my byte example so we can have it for future reference, and all I'm doing is system out println short. Okay, so save that, and then this, if you look, where is this file lying? If I go to my directory, it's under, let's say I'm under my current directory, say I'm under source. Now under src I've got a further directory lesson, and under lesson I've got my main.java. So if I'm under src, I'll just open it here, and you can see I'm under src. I've got my class would be under lesson, like I've got over there. I've ran it before, so to run it and compile it in memory and run it, I would say Java lesson 7, which is my directory where my main is, and then main.java. And note, usually if you compile the class first, you would just call Java, and if this is a package, it would be lesson7 dot main without the dot Java. But in this case, I'm not compiling a class file, it's compiling in memory, so I have to point it, and it actually ignores the package. It doesn't see the package as the fully qualified name. So if I do that, you'll see there it outputted short, exactly that over there. Now if I was lying under the lesson directory, in other words my current directory is lesson, and let's just do that, lesson 7, just the cd, I spelled it wrong, lesson 7, and you see now I'm lying under lesson 7. So now to run it, I would say java main dot java, the full name of my source. Now what happens, it compiles this in memory and then it runs it. So there it is. Now why I'm saying in memory, if I go look here under lesson 7, I've still only got a main.java file. Now if I had to run it the actual way where you save and run it, I would say javac. Let me just go back one, because it needs a fully qualified name. So I'm in the source now, so I would say javac, and then I would say where it's lying. So I would say lesson 7 main.java, and I would compile it first, and I spelled the main wrong there, so let me just there, and it's compiled. See what happens. So there I've got a class file now, but just to show you again, I'm going to delete that class file. Let's just run it. So I could run it java, and now because I've got it in a package declaration, I would say lesson 7 and main without the .java, because it's the fully qualified name, because I've got a package declaration in my statement in my class, you see there. Okay, but now, and as you can see, there is my main. Now let's just delete that. I'm just going to move. Okay, so the main is got done it just using command line Java, and just notice here if there's a class file created there, and because I'm in source, I have to say lesson 7 in this case, tell it where it is, main, and I have to use the Java, and there it runs, and see it's actually compiled it in memory, didn't create a physical class file. So it's one way when you're testing things, and you don't want to go every time compile and then run, you can use this form for quick tests and so on. Okay, so we've come to the end of this method on the changes that was made to the Java command, where you can compile, run all at once. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, go watch my YouTube channel and so on, and like. I've also got a Facebook page where you can follow any relevant information on this channel and so on. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and weeks and so on until we meet again.